All right, let's get right into it. We're about to pull back the curtain on the real, unwritten rules of the workplace. You know, the powerful, invisible forces that actually shape careers, the ones your boss and the whole system kind of hope you never figure out.
You know that feeling, right? You're working your tail off, you're checking all the boxes, but for some reason, the promotions go to other people. Or when a project fails, blame seems to magically land everywhere, except on the people who are actually responsible. It's confusing, it's frustrating, and honestly, it can feel totally unfair.
And that's because the real game is never written down. Yeah, the employee handbook will tell you how to file an expense report, but it's not going to tell you how to actually gain influence. So today, we're going to decode those secret rules that really govern how to succeed, and maybe more importantly, how to survive in the corporate world. Okay, our first secret rule is all about what I like to call the unseen scoreboard. See, the idea is that while everyone's busy trying to rack up points with very visible effort and, loud campaigning, the real game is happening somewhere else entirely. The stuff that actually gets rewarded is often decided in a totally different arena.
So, think about this scenario. You've got two analysts, Sam and Dana. They both want the same big project. Sam is a machine. He's sending emails, he's making presentations, he's getting his allies to talk him up. He is doing everything we're told you're supposed to do. Dana, on the other hand, she has a single quiet conversation with the director, and then radio silence. Guess who gets the project? Dana.
So, what just happened there? Why did Dana's one quiet move completely beat Sam's huge public campaign? What is the hidden logic at play? It feels totally backward, but it points us directly to our very first secret rule. And here's the secret. The official rule we're all taught is that credit goes to visible, hard work. But the secret rule, the really critical decisions are finalized in private, back-channel conversations. Sam was busy playing the public game, but Dana was playing the private one. And that's where the decision was actually made, probably long before Sam's big presentation even started.
So that leads us perfectly into our second secret rule, which is very much related: strategic invisibility. Now, this one completely flips the script on the old advice that you have to be constantly busy and involved in everything to get ahead. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to be selectively absent.
Let's take a look at someone like Priya. She never seems stressed out, right? She skips those optional meetings. She avoids volunteering for the big, flashy, high-risk committees. And because of that, she's protected. When some high-profile project goes down in flames, the people who are loudly attached to it are the ones who take the hit. But Priya, who maybe had a small advisory role, she's completely fine. She's insulated from all that failure.
And this shows the crucial difference between what we think of as value and what has strategic value. Common wisdom says, be seen everywhere, get involved in everything. But the secret rule is all about strategic attachment. It's about protecting your political capital by linking your name only to things that are very likely to succeed. See, Priya isn't lazy. She's a brilliant strategist. She's saving her reputation for the moments that truly matter.
Okay, now for a really big one. This is a rule that explains so much of the frustration we feel at work. The system is not designed to find the truth. It's designed to protect itself. And this becomes crystal clear whenever something goes wrong. Just picture this for a second. A major product launch completely fails. So you're trying to figure out, okay, who approved the flawed timeline that caused this whole disaster? But every time you ask someone, you just get the runaround. Everyone points a finger at a different department. It seems like nobody was actually responsible. And this visualizes the blame game perfectly. Just follow the arrows, right? The project manager blames the VP's directive. The VP blames the wild promises made by sales. Sales, of course, blames engineering's bad feasibility estimates, and then engineering points the finger right back at the project manager for ignoring their warnings in the first place. It creates this perfect, unbreakable circle of denial where accountability just evaporates.
Now, this isn't some accident, it's a feature of the system. It's actually called diffused responsibility. The idea is, when everyone is a little bit responsible, then no one is truly responsible. It is a structural way to make sure that no single person has to take the fall for a big, systemic failure. And here is the key insight, the thing you have to understand. This isn't just about a few people trying to save their own skin. The system is literally engineered to protect its own stability. I mean, think about it. If one person were actually held accountable for a huge failure, it could threaten the entire hierarchy. So instead, blame gets spread out so the machine can just keep on running. The system's #1 goal is always its own survival.
All right, finally, let's talk about what might be the most insidious trap of them all. It's one that actually punishes the most dedicated, the most hardworking employees. It's called the good soldier's trap.
So here's the setup. A department loses 4 people, and surprise, they aren't getting replaced. The workload skyrockets. Now we've got 3 employees who all react a little differently. Robbie, he's the data guy. He collects stats to prove there's a problem. Keisha, she just vents to her coworkers about how unfair it all is. And then there's Jordan. Jordan just puts his head down and silently does all of the extra work.
Now this table breaks down exactly how this plays out. Look at Ravi up top, he brings all this data, but the manager's response is just some corporate jargon about prioritization, basically ignoring the problem. Keisha, who's just venting, is seen as unproductive. But then look at Jordan, he absorbs all the extra work and the manager calls him a real team player. Seems like he's winning, right? But what's the actual strategic outcome here?
And here it is, the brutal, secret rule. Jordan is in the worst possible position. His reward for being the good soldier is that the system now knows he will put up with an unsustainable workload. He solved his manager's short-term problem at his own long-term expense, and he has just set a new, dangerous precedent for himself.
So what do you do with all this information? Well, the answer isn't just to work smarter. It's about adopting a whole new playbook. You have to start observing the system as a whole, not just the little part you work in. Before you jump on a task, ask yourself, what is the real objective here, not just the stated one? And maybe most importantly, you have to treat your time and energy, your bandwidth, as your most valuable asset. Because trust me, the system will take every last bit you're willing to give.
You know, understanding these hidden rules isn't about becoming cynical or bitter. It's about becoming a strategist for your own career. It's about learning to play the game the way it's actually being played. So the real question I have for you is, now that you've seen these rules laid bare, which one is going to change the way you walk into the office tomorrow?